Now, look, everybody likes to talk the splash moves at the skill positions and all those type of things, but games are won by the trenches, and Ryan Poles knows that. And the Bulls just added 3 offensive linemen, undrafted free agents that I'm telling you right now, at least one of these dudes is going to make some noise. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. So one of the things that you like to do when you sign undrafted free agents is, of course, you're trying to find a diamond in the rough, right? And that doesn't mean that it's always going to be a starter. Sometimes it's going to be a guy that ends up being a backup for a couple of years at a cost-effective contract. Sometimes it can end up being somebody who is a long-term starter. It really matters in that. But I think when you look at one thing that everybody wants to do in the NFL is find ways to continually develop players that play in the trenches, the gritty players, the players that, that really make a team go and make a team hum. You have to win the battles in the trenches if you want to be a high caliber team. It's just the reality of every team that wins a lot usually has, if not one side, both sides of the ball, the trenches are really shored up and consistent. And that's what Ryan Poles is trying to do. He did it with Theo Benedict, finding a diamond in the rough there, right? And that's what he's trying to do now. So the Ryan Poles has signed 3 undrafted free agents, and I want to cover them all here. Number 1, Caden Barnett. Now, you look at this guy, the athleticism is ridiculous. It's crazy when it comes down to it. Strong run blocking presence as well. Efficiency in the pass protection. That's really what you want to look at when it comes down to him overall. And I think when you look at this guy, he just does not allow a lot of sacks and a lot of pressures. Last year as a rookie, which really is the thing that stands out a lot about as a rookie. I'm sorry. Last year, in his last year of college, what really stands out about him is the fact that he allowed only 1 sack during the entirety of the 2025 season, and over 350 pass blocking opportunities in 2025. He had a 67.8 pass blocking grade, which did rank 206 of 307 qualified guys, but he doesn't allow sacks, right? Over the last 2 seasons, as him playing primarily as the center, he's displayed consistent pass protection when it comes down to that one. This guy is somebody who projects as a reliable, physical interior offensive lineman that can play at the next level if he just tightens up some things. Things that really stand out really good for him is athleticism. He is considered, even despite not being drafted, one of the most athletic linemen in this draft class. And that's kind of the modern ways that offensive linemen are going when it comes down to it, right? But it did limit his potential. We see what happens in that one. There was no real mock draft buzz around him, which caused him to drop as well. And while he does have really good experience at center and at tackle, he can play either position really well. He is viewed as more of a developmental piece than an immediate impact player when it comes down to it. So that's the thing that really stands out about him. But the efficiency in protecting the quarterback is really good. You look at his leadership, that's something that stands out to him as well. He has a really high level of recognition and advanced moves. He understands how to handle twists, blitzes. He has really good hand technique as well on that interior offensive line. I think that he projects himself to be a solid, prospect here to see. Over 6 seasons, right, starting at center, right tackle, right guard, and left guard. He's played every single position that's on that line, and that's really what stands out about him in a big thing as well. So the 1 sack allowed, 18 pressures allowed in that time as well, which is really good. He did allow 6 QB hits, and he played 444 pass blocking snaps and allowed 4 penalties over that time. The physicality, the power, that's all there for him as well. Again, he ranked a 9.54 RAS score. That's a relative athletic score when it came down to it. So at the next level at the NFL, the question is where he's going to play. And it seems like he's going to transition to guard, which is really good when it comes down to it. He has that extensive experience playing that at Wyoming with 34 career games at that position as well. He was the highest graded guard in the Mountain West Pro Football Focus. So take that for what you will by allowing only 1 sack. And he has really good length quick feet when it came down to it as well. It just, a lot of stuff really sticks out to him. And when they talk about him as well, Caden Barnett, the mean streak, they talk about him having a very big mean streak when it comes down to it. 6'5", 316-pound lineman. Listen, this guy is very strong, very powerful, and he has elite run backing grades while also not allowing sacks, which I think is a really good thing for it. 792 offensive snaps starting at right guard, 18 total pressures, 1 sack in that time. I think that really does stand out about him. Next up that we got to talk about is Jaren Kump, the offensive lineman out of Utah. You look at this guy, he does have really good versatility. 41 starts across all 5 offensive line positions. You can see why Ryan Poles wants to take a shot at him. Somebody who's been able to play all 5 offensive line positions, it's definitely work to see what you can develop him into, because, he's moved around so much. You're trying to try to figure out which position is best for him, or at the minimum, if he can play either guard position, either tackle position, or be a guard or a tackle, which is the rarity in the NFL, that's worth it even as a depth piece. If you can work him in to be a solid depth guy that can step into almost any role that you need him to be in, it really does make a lot of sense for why you'd at least want to see what you can develop out of him. He was also a team captain. He did win the Remington Award, trophy as well. He was the top list honoree in regards to that one. And he was really highly efficient. Also, only allowing 1 sack in the entirety of the 2025 season. When you look at the opportunities that he had as well, the pass blocking opportunities there, he was really solid in that. Now, there are some issues with him in the run game that you're looking at when it comes down to that one, but he is projected to be a reliable, physical, interior offensive lineman, and it really is, he's going to be a big system-based guy, right? If he gets into the right system and scheme, I think that makes a lot of sense for him as well. Overall, he is going to be more of a developmental guy right away. But again, somebody who's played all 5 offensive line positions, I think that's very well worth building in and seeing what you have. When you have an offensive line coach like Dan Rouchard, giving somebody that's as much of a blank slate as what Kump is, I think that makes a lot of sense for you, right? You want to try to get Dan Rouchard somebody that he can develop and mold. And it could very well be that you find out he doesn't really have a true position at the NFL, and thus it's hard to play him. Or you can figure out, hey, he actually has really good technique to be a tackle, really good technique to be a guard. We just got to develop him. He's never really been focused on developing in one position. Thus, we feel like we can get that out of him. And that's why you trust an offensive line coach like Dan Rouchard when it's all said and done. So Jaren Kump, remember the name as well. Wouldn't be surprised if you hear, him be somebody that's kind of sticks around the team for a couple of years before you really kind of figure out. And think of Doug Kramer, right? Like Doug Kramer stuck around for a long time, played some, the fullback thing was really weird, trying at that. Not going to say you're doing that with Kump, but I do think you could hear his name be around for a couple of years. We just got to see if he's going to crack the rotation eventually and get in there at least as a depth piece in the NFL, and we'll see what happens there. The next guy that we want to talk about is Mason Murphy. This is the offensive tackle out of Auburn, 6'5", 315 pounds. He's played tackle and guard. He transferred to Auburn from USC. He was considered a very strong NFL prospect at one time because of the experience and versatility that he brings across the offensive line. This is a guy that's really good physicality-wise, which is really good over the type of it. He played right tackle a lot too, 36 games and 22 starts at that right tackle position. He's played at the SEC, which is really high level. You look at that one. When you look at it, in 2023, he identified as he was starting in games, he allowed 27 pressures. In 2024, which is also in USC, over 12 games, and he played at right tackle there, he allowed a few pressures there as well. So this is a guy that, he has some, he's not as consistent as the pass blocker when it came down to it, and that's the thing that may hold him back. He started 22 games across 3 seasons from 2021 to 2024 and played 2,000 snaps. And 59% of those snaps was at the right tackle position. So while you're talking about trying to find that position for him, right tackle may very well be that position for him. So, experience starting at both tackle spots and right guard. The physical strength is really good there for him. He was rated at 89th with the, with the physical strength and the impact blocking at an 88 there. The experience also in the Pac-12 and SEC. He really stands out as a technically sound offensive lineman as well. And he's really durable, right? 39 games across his college career, so didn't really miss a lot of time there. When you look at the reasons for not being drafted, it's really the pass protection. He doesn't really stand out as a pass protector, and he's really inconsistent in that part of his game, and that's the thing there. And also the fact that he doesn't have a true position really kind of held him back. And when you look at the draft analysis form, is that, a lot of people want to develop him as a guard rather than a tackle, but because there's not sure on which one of the techniques he's going to work out the best at, that's what it comes down to as well. Also, he didn't have the best performance in 2025. High pressure rate, high sack rate when it came down to it. So I do think that, he is a guy that you may be willing to invest in. Again, another guy that maybe if you focus in on one key position, that you can find the best position for him. But overall, I would not be surprised if you're talking about any of the guys that maybe doesn't even make it out of the first preseason game. Mason Murphy may get cut, but the other two, when you look at it, Jaren Kump, I really do like a lot because of the versatility at every position. And then Caden Barnett as well, just a guy that just does not allow pressures, can play the interior offensive line, and you really like him a lot as well. So overall, I think Ryan Poles has gotten in a nice crop of young UDFAs on the offensive line for Dan Rouchard to work out. The rookie minicamp, these guys are going to be there, and Dan Rouchard is going to get his eyes on those guys and really see what he feels like he can make out of it. So the question on who makes the roster, I guess we shall see how it comes down to it. I don't really see either one of them affecting the depth chart a lot in their rookie years, but with injuries and things, you never know. This is how you build depth. That's really what this is about, right? This is how you build and find quality depth for your team if you hit on these UDFAs. And that's really what it's about. So let me know which one of these linemen kind of stand out the most to you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, chicagobearcentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.